Okay, we are back. So I just realized that I had been done that whole segment with the mic off, so we're gonna have to do closed captioning for that. And I guess I'll have to I'll probably redo those ones. But let's just keep going. We're gonna keep going. And bear with me. We'll move to the next one, which is Cancer. All right, so Cancer. Let's pull an abandoned oracle card for you. Get a little bit more comfy here. Okay. We have the infant. So this could mean new life. Given the sort of dark nature of these cards, so it could be that there is you could have issues with abandonment that you're coming to terms with right now, Cancer. It could also be something in your life that you've created that you're abandoning on some level for whatever reason. And that's okay. Sometimes you just have to let things go, and that's how you do it. You just cold turkey it, right? It could also be that you're just really feeling alone. Feeling alone for some reason. Needing to connect or needing to be found. That's okay. There's a lot of work that we have to do when we're trying to find ourselves. And sometimes we think we've done it, and then life just rips us a fucking new one. And we realize that we don't even know who we are anymore. And then we got to figure it out all over again. It's almost like you can see it as a period of rebirth. Learning how to be the new you. Because things happen to us that make us die a little bit inside. We're never the same, you know? It's rough. So it's just learning how to become the new ourselves. Sounds like this old white feminist from the book, The New Our Bodies Ourselves. No, that's not what I mean. It's the new you. Okay, so the new you, my young Padawan, is a little bit standoffish, a little bit cold. That's okay, especially if you've been through some shit. This is natural and normal. It is a way to cope through hell. I don't know about you, but I think a frozen hell is a lot easier to deal with than a hotter than hell. Because at least you can try and start a fire or put on a coat. Huddle up. We have the 8 of Coins reversed. So there's something that you probably need to walk away from, or you're not walking away from, or you could just be abandoning a situation that you should have stayed in. I don't want to say that though. It's just a possibility. But the 8 of Coins, the 8 of Cups, is about cutting your losses and moving on. So you may have cut some losses, but you might be having a hard time moving on. Or you may be trying to move on, but you're just not willing to let your losses go. But there is a loss. I don't know. There also could be no need for that. You might be moving on. I don't know. And feeling good about it. Which is entirely possible as well. I feel like the shadow is coming through on some level. Like the shadow is not something that you cut off. The shadow is something that you kind of embrace on some level. Don't let it operate 100% of your life. But maybe you've let your shadow take over. And that's not something that you can cut off. But it's definitely something that you need to probably steer away from. We have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords. So you are your own inner ninja. Like 100 Eyes from Marco Polo. You're ready. Whatever comes your way. You're trained. And you don't know what's coming your way. And you're okay with it. It's a very balanced view on the unknown and your ability to navigate your way through it. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So spiritually, though, there's like, we're missing the message. You're missing some type of message. I don't know what that is. Or it could be that you're getting caught up in gossip and it's impacting your ability, like your self-talk. Gossip or something outside of you is impacting the way that you communicate with yourself. You're not trusting your judgment, or you're just falling prey to some type of, could be paranoia. It could just be like a really toxic worldview. Either way, it's related to your mind. So getting your head space in check is critical to forward movement on a spiritual level. And if that's really important to you, then I suggest you get to it. If not, then, it might take some time, like, because, Cancer has a hard time. Like, Cancers can be not so much like Taurus, but like the harder, like, you have this like hard exterior. It's tough to crack. So if you're like even closed off from yourself, that's going to be, I don't know. It's going to be tricky. You might end up holding on to something or latching on to something that you don't want to. We got the Four of Wands. Just not really feeling happy about your domestic space. Or maybe springtime, there's this period of renewal you were expecting and it's kind of biting you in the ass. That's in your recent past. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be your recent past. It's just in your past, where you did not feel at home with yourself, at home in your environment, at home with who you are. All right. So there really is nothing that you're attached to that's toxic. I feel like this could also be, I don't know, sometimes I think the Devil in reverse can also indicate that, like, you can't forget about the things that you've struggled with. It's not, like, it's important not to dwell on your struggle, but I think it's also to remember where you come from in terms of staying humble. So if you came from a dark place, whether it be dark in sadness, dark in resentment and anger and shady behavior. Remember that your shit stinks still, you know? It's important not to go around like your shit doesn't stink. Not getting too high and mighty in yourself. Like, you know, like, I don't know, sometimes I think people are just like, you know, like, oh, I'm not addicted to drinking anymore. But that doesn't mean that I was never an alcoholic type of behavior, right? Because it's entirely possible that if that person started drinking again, that they would revert back to that behavior. It's also entirely possible that they don't, that they can turn into a casual drinker. It's just like the leveling out of things, the shift in our behaviors and our ability to cope. It manifests in different ways. But it's always important to acknowledge if the time arises, or it's equally important to not act like your shit never stank before, you know? Something to think about. That makes sense with this page in reverse as well. Just not really being honest with yourself. Because lying to yourself about your experiences or where you come from, because where you come from is sacred no matter what the background is. It's our past is a critical component to our present and future, right? So we have to honor that. We got the Executive of Coins reversed in your attitude. So your attitude towards money is not that great, and that could look like so many different things. That could be things like hoarding, or just expecting results without doing the work to constitutionally maintain the operation, maintain yourself, your body, to ethically treat your staff, to, pay them what they deserve, or, it's exploitive, this individual. This person is either exploiting themselves, like selling themselves short, or they are exploiting other people. Either way, their management is not going to manifest sustainability, which is what the upright king stands for and is all about. It's about longevity in terms of health, wealth, and career. Where did you go? Oh, sorry, let's see if I can hustle this card back over here. Oh, there we go. Hustle. Maybe you're hustling. That's okay. Sometimes you gotta hustle, but you gotta think about karma as well when it comes to that. We got the 3 of Coins. You also gotta think about, I don't know if this was upright or reversed. I've grabbed it upright. Sometimes you got to think about the people that you are working with. Like, the people that you're working with see you as an asset to their team. Cancer. 3 can also be a crowd sometimes. So, I don't know. But either way, people see you as doing your work and a good connection to have. You yourself, though, maybe you have some imposter syndrome issues with this king reversed as well. So always know that you are the reflection of what you want to be. To just match that, to mirror that in everything that you do, especially with how you feel about yourself. It's not easy. But if you aren't, like, if you are hustling and shady, there's only, like, it's only going to take you so far if you're doing that in a situation where it's expected or it's understood that you are not that. So, I don't know what to say. Like, it is what it is. Don't get caught. Let's see. A star. Everybody is a star. Aquarian energy. Making sure that everyone has enough. That really is at the core of your hope. You want everybody to thrive, everybody to experience a certain level of wealth. Your heart is in the right place. This is the type of energy that comes with a balance of give and take. This is very balanced energy. That's what you want to achieve. So there might be some adjustments that you have to make and like getting real about the adjustments that you have to make. Get real with it. If you want it to be real, you got to make it real. You can't hustle your way into real. Sometimes you can, but just make sure that it's real at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it has to no longer be a hustle. So does it really reflect that? And is this what you think that our ancestors wanted? That your ancestors wanted? That our ancestors want for us? Are you doing what you truly believe they want for us? I'm pretty sure they do not want us taking each other down, exploiting each other, excluding each other, making fun of each other, being fucking bitches and assholes to each other. People are mean for nothing. They're fucking cruel for nothing. Because they're insecure dumbasses. We got the supervisor of the queen. We got the Queen of Swords here. So the Queen of Swords reversed. So there's somebody in your life, you either don't like them, they don't like you. The feeling might be mutual. You could also just be really harsh or dealing with somebody that's psychologically abusive. That might be you too. It's hard to say. Usually when, like attracts like, right? The Queen of Swords is always is never satisfied. There's always some type of improvement. And I find sometimes when it's, the flip side of that, it's like no one's ever good enough or, never going to be satisfied with how they see what the other person is doing. So there's always going to be a lack of trust. Or always thinking that there's going to be some type of hidden agenda. And that's a lot of energy being wasted. I mean, yeah, people have hidden agendas. For me, I really don't get, their agendas are none of my business. Especially if it's not really impacting me in any kind of way. Like if they're directing their energy towards me in a way that is overstepping boundaries, that's when you have to set a boundary. And boundaries don't get set in silence. They get set with action, right? And take it for what it is. But we have the 7 of Coins here. So again, you might be feeling bored with what you're doing. You might be getting bored with what you're doing. It's just not satisfying you. Or it's just like growing and you can't really see. It's like watching grass grow. It happens very slowly. But either way, people look up to you, or this is a person that you need to access in terms of spiritual guidance. There could also be some contracts that you need to attend to. And make sure that like people aren't punking you. Like boundaries and contracts with people that are like punks is coming to my mind. But yeah. I don't know. Let's draw an oracle card. Star Wars, may the 4th be with you, bitches. Okay. Oh, not this one again. I have good in me. If I fall into darkness, I can always find my way back to the light. Just like our old pal Darth Vader did when he moved on to the Force. Luke, I am your father. Could be a father figure is moving on in your life and you just need to let them go, or not really a father figure. I feel like this is more coming to terms with daddy issues as well. Definitely. Knowing who that person is and coming to terms with it. That is a lifetime achievement for some people. All right. I think that's it for you, Cancer. Let's move on to Leo. Okay. So Leo, what is in store for you all? Okay, we have the Queen of Coins. Taking care of yourself so that you can be there, helping to nurture the well-being of others. Also making money for yourself so you can take care of those who you're responsible for, even if it's just you. Oh, I forgot to pull Oracle. Crossing that, we have the 7 of Cups, though, which is not a bad thing. We got lots of decisions. We got options when it comes to this making money for ourselves so that we can take care of our future and our responsibilities. We got house, we got love, we got career, we got fortune. All those things, the options are there. All you have to do is just focus on one of them. So what feels like the best path to pick first? And it looks like we have a curse. Not a curse in terms of a curse that somebody placed on you. This is more like the curse of indecision, of being bound by feeling trapped. Being bound by feeling trapped. That can definitely hinder your ability to make decisions, especially about like money and career. So, you may want to look to the new moon for guidance. Period of darkness is the best time to see the light. We have Temperance, balance, give and take. emotions, attachment, detachment, Sagittarian energy. So that's overlooking the situation. I can't remember what planet rules Sagittarius. It might be Saturn. So the ebb and flow of emotions that is consistent, not all over the place, right? We got the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands. Subconsciously, you're feeling very exhausted, but also like holding down the fort. You're a veteran when it comes to manifesting. You've done it before. You've manifested before. You've done the career thing before and been very successful. So really, there isn't anything stopping you other than yourself. And, even doing, like, if you don't find yourself being as successful doing the same thing that you were doing before, you have transferable skills that will take you to different places that you may decide to go or need to go to. But you're not going to go anywhere if you don't, like, go somewhere. Like, set foot out the door kind of thing, right? All right. Oh, what do we got here? The Strength card. So you have been through some shit. You have been, like, you've acquired, and this makes so much, this is your card too. This is you, Leo. You have done the work to balance your, what is it? That fight or flight instinct, right? So you have come to terms with your trauma that you've experienced in life. You know how to regulate yourself. You know how to unleash and release whatever energies you have pent up. And then you also know how to keep your shit cool. Like, you just put it all back together. And you do it fabulously because you're a Leo. It is your gift in life. So throw some of that energy my way, please. Okay. We have the 5 of Wands reversed. No major conflict. And that could be part of the reason why you're having a hard time making decisions, because you don't have anything challenging you. The 5 of Wands reversed can be a bit of a monotonous card. So in your immediate future, like, boredom is going to be your challenge. And that, I swear to God, is the worst fucking challenge. Because, like, we don't want to make drama, but at the same time, we want to get, some kind of fire lit underneath our ass, right? Then we have the 7 of Coins reversed. Okay, so drama might be something that you decide to manifest on some level. I hope not. But you also might not be as bored as the 5 might indicate. Like, you're okay. Like, it's like that grass takes time to grow. So you're okay with that. Like, you're fully aware of your surroundings and content with them. You could also, it's possible, okay, so this sounds different. This might be specific to somebody, but another thing that comes to my mind when it comes to the 7 of Coins is being too much of a nitpicker and bothering something too much. It's like bothering that plant or like fussing over something too much, and that actually inhibits its growth. When you fuss over something and try too hard and expect it to, I don't know, it's just like when you're too detailed or helicopter about it, like just hovering over it constantly, this grass that you want to grow. I'm here, I'm watching the grass, it's growing, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. But at the same time, it's just like you're smothering the grass. Careful. And that can be aspects of yourself that you're paying too much attention to and neglecting other things that you could be focused on as well. But there is, like, no one's like stealing from you. You're not being robbed of any opportunities. You just might be interfering with the growth of something outside of yourself on some level. Just gonna have to pause here for one moment. Okay, Leo, let's continue. So it looks like no one's robbing you of any opportunities, or like no one's taking from you. So if you feel like you're being robbed of opportunities or someone's out to get you or taking from you, it doesn't look that way. So you're certainly maintaining your composure if somebody is stealing your energy. The Empress reverse. So you are afraid of like experiencing a lack of growth, not moving forward, not being able to manifest, creatively speaking. That's at the core of your fears. Also, being too tuned out, like you still, I feel like you might be afraid of being disconnected. Like when you think about life is all about connections. And when it's closed off, you become isolated. So you don't want to be isolated. That's something that you're afraid of on some level. You are going to have some type of tower moment. It's going to end with a tower moment where it either all comes crashing down, or you kind of like have this judgment moment where you become awakened to the fact that everything already is falling apart. So let's see. And I don't mean like everything falling apart, but just like a shift. And sometimes shifts require a bit of a, maybe kind of a catastrophic moment, but something that really doesn't have to be catastrophic, but it definitely flips the switch. So flipping the switch, you're going to just change. It's almost just like an old you just finally decides to be done. And then the new you comes through, crawls out of the rubble from the tower, crashing down. Yeah, we got a death and the Page of Coins. Interesting. So the way that you see perhaps a young person in your life, the way that you view this could be something like you realize that your child is not a baby anymore, or you realize that you're holding somebody back from growing. And that could also even be you. You realize like your inner child and your relationship with money or health is going to come to an end. Okay, Leo. Let's pull an action or affirmation card, whichever comes out first. From a galaxy far, far away. Long time ago. So some guiding words as we see Anakin and Obi-Wan battling it out. There are a few worse than fighting with, sorry, there are a few feelings worse than fighting with someone that you care about. The next time you are in an argument with someone, stop for a moment and look at the situation from their perspective and try to understand how they feel. So that can be tricky, right? I don't think that this is the most sound advice to give, because I would, like, I'm critical of giving this type of advice to somebody that is involved with someone who's really toxic, right? Like you can't really empathize, like you can, but empathizing with somebody who's toxic too much just becomes part of the toxic dynamic, right? Think about that narcissist and empath dynamic, right? But their perspective in terms of, I don't know, how can we switch that narrative around? Their perspective would sort of be like, for example, like if their perspective is that you aren't really taking care of yourself or providing financially to a certain degree, or it could be the opposite. You could be emasculating a partner on some level because you're doing everything for them. Or you could be having somebody take care of you in ways that you can probably start doing yourself. And that might balance out the dynamic, because we don't want to be in situations where we are sort of at the mercy of the care of others. It's really important. And we don't want to be financially abusing people to the point where they don't have anything for themselves and depend on us. So it's like a imbalance of power. All right, Leo, thank you so much, all the Leos out there, for listening. Remember, if this does resonate, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And we are moving on to Virgo. I need to switch the power. Okay. All right, so what is in store for the Virgos? We have ink. So, came through reversed. This may have to do with could have to do with not being satisfied with your appearance. Not being satisfied with your appearance, not being satisfied with the way that you express yourself. It could be that others might be judgy bitches, and that's not really your problem. But it's something that we have to cope with, for sure. Dealing with the shitty ways that other people are judgy towards us. Like, I mean, we can talk about fat phobia, for example. The most socially acceptable form of oppression. Making fun of fat people, thinking that you're entitled to put them down or shame them in some type of way. And it is very subtle. So it's important for people to be in the know and woke about complacency with regards to fat phobia. That's just one thing. Another thing can be, fashion, what's in, what's out, what's good, what's bad. To each their own. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And if you don't think something isn't beautiful, then mind your goddamn business. Let them mind their fucking business and move on. But people don't do that. They seem to think that they're entitled. So that could be something that Virgos are processing right now. emotionally, letting that go. We go back to that Scorpio moon, just releasing that negativity and knowing that however you see yourself, how you are, is perfect in every way. And if you want to change that, like, for the love of all that's holy, do it because you really actually want to see yourself differently and not because you want to appeal to the way that other people are dictating to you how you should be with their shitty behavior. Let's get into this reading for you, Virgo. We got Justice reversed. So either you are being done an injustice or somebody is lashing out towards you, or you are doing an injustice to yourself on some level. That can come out, and there's so many ways that could be the case. But here I'm guessing that it has to do with image, self-image, how you see yourself, self-esteem. Well, this could also be that there is an injustice occurring in your life that is impacting your image or how you see yourself. Like someone's fucking with you psychologically. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. So emotionally too. Emotionally, you're drained. You've had enough. You're just not feeling the love for what you normally feel love for. And self-love is something that we need to go back to always when it comes to this. So how are we going to feel love for ourselves, right? We don't always have the money to go buy a whole new wardrobe. We can go for walks, we can exercise, that's free. Enjoying yourself and having good experiences with other people, meeting new people, for the most part, that can be free. But the self-love, I feel like the cup is empty and we need to refill it with some good love energy. Strength card reverse. So overlooking the situation, there is an imbalance between your fight or flight type of fight and flight and, having your shit together and keeping it cool. So you could you could be trying to run away, or you could just be under too much control, trying to control too much, and you need to let loose a little bit and have some fun. Also letting people, because Leo energy really, they love being praised. They love it when their ego is inflated with, pride is something that is really, what's the word? It's like a character asset when it comes to Leos. It can also be a character defect, being too prideful, but they really just love being complimented. And there's nothing wrong with that. When you're fishing for compliments all the time because you're insecure, that's when it becomes an issue. So it could be that you're fishing for compliments right now, Virgo. It could also be that you have a hard time accepting compliments when they're given to you. You have a hard time seeing what other people see in you. The fabulousness that you have. So stop it. It's hard to do that, though. It's hard to recognize and to continuously be confident when, you just are used to vibing low or just questioning yourself or just not seeing it. It's like you don't always know what you don't know. And sometimes things just may not even matter to you. It's just, you never thought about it when you should have. So do it now. Got a tower moment within the subconscious that is stuck. So spiritually, you could be leveling up. You're just you hit a plateau and there's something that needs to come crashing down for you. You might be waiting for. Coming from a place where you were kind of battling it out. Or maybe you weren't battling it out and you should have been fighting. I don't know. It's hard to say. In the past, though, you might just not have been seeing the conflict or the battle that was going around you. Perhaps. You numbed out. You numbed out to your inner conflict, and you're probably still going to stay kind of disconnected, it looks like, to a certain degree. And, okay, money is not a bad, but like you're just not taking care of yourself financially. Could also be your health too. Your attitude towards your health needs to level up. The Six of Cups. The Six of Cups. So, just trying to think. I'm totally drawing a blank with the Six of Cups. Isn't that terrible? Okay. Six of Cups is puppy love, nostalgia. People see you, Virgo, as a homie lover friend, or just someone that they can chill with, or someone who has like a kindred spirit vibe. Like you're cool, you're chill, you're the kind of person that they want to talk to and just shoot the shit with. It doesn't have to be sexual in nature. It can be though. But either way, this can also be like a family vibe. Like people want you to be like a part of their family. They think that you would fit in well.